716 East Parkview Ave, Suite 107B, Fountain Hills, Arizona. I came to speak with you guys today because within 3 minutes I can't possibly share everything, but I will do my best with my notes to summarize. I had the similar issue with DCS, but my biggest issue was with judicial conduct, judicial misconduct in particular, where judges are working with the executive branch to interfere with people's rights, like in that video, individual liberties. Now, the booklet I handed out to you is going to be covered in future meetings, so I'd ask you to hang on to it because I will be referencing to things in that book. I just don't understand with the way you guys do your presentations here. It all seems very well put, and that you guys, your heart's in the right place, and that you're trying to do right, and you're trying to improve the court system, and I appreciate that. But from my experience, just a little background, I'm a combat infantry veteran, and I came back to this country from Afghanistan. I served my time honorably, got out, and then I encountered corruption. And it was small town corruption, good old boys club, police, you know, kind of haggling you, small town court judges not giving you due process. But then I came here to Arizona, came back home to Arizona, and I encountered the most corrupt thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. And it sickens me that there's an agency within our state that cannot touch your dog. They cannot step foot on your property to touch your dog without a sworn affidavit or without due process. But yet they can take your children because of hearsay, rumor, and gossip. It's astonishing that that's even happening in our communities. I'd like to point out just a few more things. I'd like to know why judges in Pinal County are working in collusion with DCS to discriminate against people with ADA disabilities, people who have requested ADA accommodations, and then retaliate against them because of their specific disability, hence short-term memory loss. When an individual can go up in there, a combat veteran goes into a courtroom under a stressful environment and asks for reasonable ADA accommodation to bring a small recording device so that he can recall what the judge asks of him or orders him. And then to maliciously prosecute him for criminal contempt with the Pinal County prosecutor, I mean, it doesn't make sense to me why any of this is happening or being allowed. I would like to know why judges practice law from the bench and issue an order to show cause when that's specifically the job of the petitioner or the defendant. I'd like to know why they're failing to uphold the Constitution and they're allowing warrantless removals of children, why they were, and why it's still warrantless with exigent circumstances, because the Constitution is very clear. Everyone in public service swears an oath to support and defend the Constitution. And Article 6, Clause 2 gives supremacy to that Constitution, which means a statute that was passed or enacted in violation of the Constitution is void of law. It's colorable law. And under everyone's oath that is in public service, they're required by law to ignore that as colorable law. So I would like to know why DCS can say, we did not get a sworn affidavit, there's no witness, there's no evidence, there's no eyewitness, but yet we can remove someone's children and put them in the most traumatic experience of their life. And also, their grandparents can't have a say in any of this experience. They're not even allowed to be a party listed in the case. And I'd like to know why, when someone such as myself whistleblowers and contacts the Pinal County Board of Governors or Board of Supervisors and reports criminal conspiracy within the Pinal County Prosecutor's Office, the Superior Court Judge of Pinal County, and the Juvenile Superior Court Judge, why is it that when I follow the proper steps within the ADA Whistleblower Protection Act, why am I getting retaliated against with malicious prosecution? Bear with me here. I'd like to know why it's so hard to get access to audio and video of your court hearing. Why is it so complicated to go in there? Why can't you just fill out a form requesting it? I've been trying to get copies of my court records since the beginning, over a year ago. And I just wanted to give you guys a quote from Socrates. When the debate is lost, slander becomes a tool of the loser. And that's how DCS works. They encourage slander amongst communities. They encourage people to fight amongst themselves, to distrust your neighbors, and everyone's losing trust in the judicial branch of government because they're seeing judges act not within the Constitution, but they're acting in favor of the executive branch, the employees from the AG's office and DCS. I think I have one more point here. I forget who quoted this earlier, but it was a quote from someone that was speaking. Governments work best when all three branches work together. I would say,
no.
My opinion, and the truth is, governments work best when the checks and balances work properly. I don't see anyone getting impeached. I don't see anyone getting recalled. And contacting the Commission on Judicial Conduct, I don't see anything happening with all these points that I raised. So I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Mr. Hanson, thank you, and I apologize for losing track of the different speaking requests.
No worries.
Well,
And with that,
we're not gonna let that
today's meeting
happen.
of council is adjourned.